Good afternoon and welcome to Afternoon Market Action. My name is Glenn.
And my name is Ryan.
Glad to have you here. By the way, before we get started, I want to say thank you to Ryan to doing the 6 p.m. video for yesterday. He filled in for me for the 6 p.m. video. I wasn't feeling well. And hope you're all fasting today. Not going to Golden Corral. I'm the only one that goes to Golden Corral. Nobody else on this team goes to Golden Corral. It's just me.
Are you going to Golden Corral today?
No, my wife is home this week, so her and my daughter are cooking up Thanksgiving for tomorrow. Hit the like button on the end. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate that. If you can hear us, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let us know that we are coming across loud and clear. Good afternoon, Janice. Can you clear that for me while you're doing that? All right, so today's the last day before Thanksgiving. What you got planned for Thanksgiving?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to do a 5K in the morning, a little turkey trot.
Who does that? I'm just saying, who does that?
You don't like running in the morning?
I don't like. The only thing I do, I like to run my mouth. That
well,
about it.
Hey, I am in charge of the deviled eggs this year.
You, yuck.
Smart move.
No,
I get to control the deviled egg intake.
I'm not doing
I like
that.
it.
I'm just not doing deviled eggs. All right.
Do you like deviled eggs?
No. Ew.
Oh, God.
That's just nasty. All right, but we got, my wife's not a big fan of turkey, so we're going to be doing a couple of chickens and some ham and some stuffing, some stuff, and some mac and cheese. My daughter's got to do mac and cheese, not my wife. All right, so there's certain things that my wife can cook, certain things that my daughter can cook.
Does she do a baked mac and
Yes.
cheese? I love it.
Must have a great turkey say. Thank you very well. Hey, thank you, Cigar. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm waiting for the alert to hit before we get hot and heavy. Oh, it is? All right, so the big thing is this rally is still rallying. Look at that. Jeff says, nice, Ryan, putting in the miles, 24 minutes. Can you do it in 24 minutes?
For a 5K, if I had to guess, probably 28.
Yeah, if I do a 5K, I'm not doing it, so it's no time.
You won't make dinner
No,
if you run a 5K.
Yeah. Mark says, we are having Thanksgiving tonight since my daughter is an ICU nurse and has to work. I got you, Mark. All right.
Nice.
Happy Arm Day. Is something going on with Arm, or is just for, I don't know, something going on? If anything's going on with Arm, I would think you would know more so than I don't know.
Arm was breaking out of that channel a couple days ago. I haven't looked at it, but I'm kind of interested now that he mentioned it.
So write it down. T says, come on, Marine, you can do it. Yep, I'm old. Once a Marine, always a Marine, but even as a Marine, I've got the knowledge and the experience to know what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And then what I have to do even when I don't want to do it. So there's a difference. Arm up 7.35%. Hey, I'm going to put that on your list.
Yeah, I'm writing it down now.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it broke out of that channel 3 days ago. Remember that channel I was talking about was at $55, $56. It hit a high day of 65.
There you go. So, hey, I'm going to put it on your list. Write it down. We're going to add it to your list. All right.
I told you guys, Arm, if you get in the low 50s, it's a good deal.
Right. Heard about the UK story today. I wish they had local user groups. That is what grew VV, in my opinion. So, John, just before we get all into it, I know people are going to have things to say about the UK thing, this scenario, but just so that you know, it wasn't anything that we did it and we had to do it. We had to make the hard decision, but the cost to do business in the UK had become prohibitive due to compliance. And the beautiful thing about having Dr. David Paul is that he had all of the necessary credentials to make it all happen. And in turn, that's what made the business a good business. But with the price issues, it has now become a non-profitable scenario. And this is the only segment, though. I need everybody out there to know right now. This is the only segment of the VectorVest services that will be affected. I want everybody to perk up their ears to hear that. The other vector vests will remain active and growing. So it was a hard decision that we had to make, but it is what it is. So before anybody goes off on a tangent, before anybody's got anything to say, I wanted to nip that in the bud quickly. All right, and man, that's the one that that's the one I was talking about. That's the. Oh, okay. So Stuart, in lieu of not having local user groups, once a month we have an international user group. So and everybody's invited to that, and it is on YouTube. So we've not done anything wrong with ditching our subscribers. As a matter of fact, we've done as much as we can to accommodate our subscribers the best we can. All right, and Shailesh, if you have a subscription to the VectorVest system, I think it's done a long time ago that if you have a subscription to the software, you have a subscription to all. And Ryan was most recently on the floor before now. Is that not correct? If you have a subscription to VectorVest, you have access to all of the countries that we offer. Is that not correct?
That is correct, Glenn. You are right.
So not only, and John, I understand about the local user groups, but that was another decision based on a lot of things that were going on in the user groups. That was another whole decision that probably needed to be made based upon the things that were done in that scenario. Better study up, Glenn, and get those certs. Hold on. I'll do that. I'll do that. And then I would have to change my residency. Listen, I like England and all that kind of stuff in the UK, but I ain't leaving. All right. So, Anthony, you're right. Dr. David Paul will be missed. David Paul definitely will be missed, but I wanted to put that out there right now before everybody wanted to chime in what was going on, why we did it, and we're still supporting our subscribers. Now, whether it's the international user group, that kind of thing, we're here for everybody who's a subscriber. All right. Glenn, are you in the same room with Ryan building? No, we're not in the same. No, we're not in the same room. We're in the same building. We ain't in the same room. As a matter of fact, I can knock on my wall and Ryan will hear me. All right. With all of that being said,
we are neighbors.
Yeah, we are neighbors. Today, and I read. I was talking about the local user groups. I only know what happened in the UK from the day that I read on Facebook. Okay, are you going to keep the UK library? That's a good question, and I don't have an answer to that. My suggestion would be to give our product support staff a call. I don't know, but give them a call and find out for sure. Just
when you're talking about the library, are you talking about like VectorVest University?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what it sounded like.
That's what I'm thinking
That's
too.
what I'm thinking. Mark just re-signed up for another year of VectorVest, so you'll have to tolerate me for another year, Glenn. Oh, man. Another year, Mark. As a matter of fact, thank you very much for renewing your subscription, Mike. Thank you very, very much. All right. So, with that being said, the rally is still rallying. Is it? Ryan, before we get into any of the news, okay, what do you think about the current rally? And then I'll give my 2 cents on it.
Again, as far as this rally,
I put you on the hot seat and now you're stumbling. That's great.
No, you're fine. I'm optimistic. I think that this rally still has a little bit of room to the upside. The MTI, last time I looked, I believe it was around like 1.1.
Okay.
Let me check real quick. But I still believe in the MTI. And, historically, it does get top heavy around 1.5. So I think there's still some room to the upside, between a Santa Claus rally, the Federal Reserve pausing any kind of rate hikes, earnings coming out. NVIDIA had strong earnings. So I don't really, unless we get some kind of geopolitical event or, a curveball in the near future, I see this rally having some legs to the upside still.
I'm on the other side of the fence, and maybe I'm still I'm the pessimistic person. I still think there's a lot of things holding the market down. Does it hold it down during this current rally? Interesting. I don't know. Does it warrant more downside to the market after the Christmas holiday? Maybe. I still think there's a lot of things that still need to happen that haven't happened. I talked about my bubbles on more than one occasion. And the other side of this, do people still have enough money on their credit cards that they've spent all throughout the summer? Do they still have money on their credit cards to still buy into the holiday season? We're going to find out starting this Friday with Black Friday and then going into next Monday on Cyber Monday. I think it's going to be very interesting. Now, if I hear stories that, man, it was the best ever, I don't know if I'm probably going to take that with a grain of salt. I think that a lot of people are strapped. You see so many stories about people living paycheck to paycheck. You see a lot of stories about how debt is rising up for individuals. I don't know. I don't know if the money is still there for them to keep buying into the holiday season. John says, I just noticed from one of my cards that they raised the limit. I don't get it. I never have a balance. So look at, they're trying to make money. If they're going to have people default, John, on the cards, what they're going to do is they're going to try to give people limit increases to get you more incentive to buy stuff. I think that that's interesting. All right. And then Bill just said the same thing John says. Glenn, they're getting their credit limits increased. So what does that do? You think that's a good thing, Ryan? I think it's going to screw people even more, because not only are you getting your credit limits increased, you're still paying it at a higher interest rate when you got to pay the money back.
I mean, it's a way to trap consumers, get them in the debt trap.
Right.
But, a lot of people, they rely on, their credit limits. People are strapped these days. If I got no money and the only way I could pay a bill is to raise a credit limit or put it on the credit card, you got no choice.
Yeah. I'm just leery about people getting caught out there and they're going to have to pay the piper later. A lot of people.
But I see a lot of these bubbles you talking about, Glenn. I see, on some of them, I see a lot of them coming to a head next year after the holidays.
Okay.
I think investors have a little bit of breathing room right now. As far as, being bullish on the market, the so-called Santa rally, a lot of customers are partaking in right now. But after the holidays, I think there might be a different tune singing. We're still waiting on this recession, soft landing, whatever you call it.
We're in a recession. We've been in a recession. There's no ifs, ands. Haas, I'm going to answer your question when we start looking at some stocks. All right, about the 28.7 to 50.15. I had a lot of comments that stated, for people who are not VectorVest subscribers, maybe they didn't understand the stops that I was talking about. So when we look at the stocks that we've got brought up, I think that we'll initiate some of those stops in today's analysis. All right, let's get into the stories. I ain't touching nothing because Joey will be like, nah.
Is he able to work that computer all by himself?
Because Joey is such a diva. Gosh, why are you touching that? Why are you doing that? No, don't do that. That's because you're such a diva. Goodness gracious. I wish you stopped talking now. I don't want to listen to you right now. I'm not listening to you right now.
Don't look at me with that tone of voice.
You don't look at me at that tone of voice. All right, anyway. I love Joey. Joey, high five. Elbows. I love you, Joey. All right. So, I always like to talk about what's going on in the market from a macro perspective. The Fed wants more evidence before changing rate stance. I was of the mindset that he had at least one more raise before the end of the year. It's not looking like it's going to happen. Scrolling down within the story, where's my mouse? Scrolling down within the story, all participants agreed that the committee was in a position to proceed carefully. Key word there, carefully, said that the minutes of October 31st and November 1st, meeting released on Tuesday. Participants expected that the data arriving in the coming months would help clarify the extent to which a slowdown in inflation was continuing amid higher borrowing costs. So none have made a strong case to lift rates at their next meeting, even though several have said it was too soon to change their view that another rate increase is more likely rate cut. I don't think we get a rate cut until possibly summer of next year. You agree with that, Ryan?
I don't see a rate cut anytime soon.
I do see. The only reason why I see a rate cut coming in the summer is because it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen before election. That's the only reason why I see a rate cut. Rate cut means we're stimulating the economy, which means we're going to print more money and yada, yada. All right, there's going to be a lot of yada, yada. There are charts on the Fed site that show corporate earnings versus interest rate. Rates are not going down till corporate earnings go down. We all know this. And you know something? Talking about that, I've got something. Research all the way at the bottom. CMA, there it is. I got a tool that I can use. We got 20 days before the next FOMC meeting. Look at this. Ease, none. No change. 95% hike, only 4.7%. There's a lot on this page in regards to the Fed that I like to look at, just in general. But 95%, no change. Only 4% says a hike. So where did you go, Glenn? What do you mean? Oh, I gotta.
Oh,
this is.
We lost footage of you.
Huh?
I said we lost footage of you.
Did you really? Oh, I'm right here. I see me right there. What did Joey do? Oh, all right. So, Savitha. What is that?
Subranium?
Why are you typing in words and I gotta sound out and use all of my phonics tools? I don't want to do that. Is that a person?
phonics tool.
Savitha Subramanian? Is that a person? Yeah. You just made me sweat a little bit. Goodness gracious. Woo! All right. So there's a lot of stuff that I like on here that I look at just to see what's going on from the Fed's perspective.
Akshay, I did see that article.
A quant strategist says the S&P going to 5,000 in 2024. Where were you yesterday? I was home. I was ill, Amir. I love your bracelets. There's nothing that you don't like about me, Amir. I'm just saying, and I don't mean that in a bad way. There's nothing. You made me gotta go look down at my bracelet. I am blushing. Can you tell? I'm blushing a little bit. All right, so
your cheeks are getting a a little rosy.
Yeah, really. You looking at these cheeks? Really?
These
whatever.
Cheeks?
All right. Anyway, talking about my cheeks. Yeah, whatever. Don't even start, Joey. Don't even start. All right. So this is a CMA group. Check that out. There's a lot of stuff that you can see what's going on with the Fed, but I keep it here for the purposes of really keeping on top of what the Fed's narrative is going to be. Why NVIDIA going down, SMC? All right, we'll talk about it in NVIDIA. My next story in regards to what's going on in the background, weekly jobless claims fall, business spending on equipment easing. Why is the business spending? Is because, part of doing business is borrowing money. And I think companies are having a hard time justifying trying to borrow money and keep everything where it is, paying higher wages, the whole 9 yards. So just background in regards to the news on jobs, the news on the Fed. All right, so some things that I think could push the market higher, but I don't know for how long. And I'm with Ryan. Trust the MTI. It's going to give us an idea of when the market is looking toppy. Right now it's at 1.17. Ryan's right. It does have some move to the upside. I'm just looking at everything in the background that's the opposite of what should push the market higher. And I just want you guys to keep your eyes on those. Does the soup from Golden Corral hope a flu? Asking for a friend in New Hampshire who knows. No, you're not, John. No, you're not. All right.
No, I don't know if I would trust the soup from Golden Corral.
Just don't eat from the chocolate fountain. That's all. Don't eat from the chocolate fountain. I told Ryan and Joey why I don't eat from the chocolate factory. Won't tell y'all, but tell you. All right. I think both of us are bearish on oil. And I've gotten to a point where I'm getting mad with oil. OPEC.
I
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I still can't believe the U.S. hit a record production last month.
Where?
I don't know if you saw the video on that, Glenn.
Where? A record
We hit
production how?
13.2 million barrels per day.
How?
The last record was 13.1, and it was in 2020, around the same time of the year.
Wow. Glenn has become a Debbie Downer on the market.
A Debbie Downer.
I'm becoming a realist just to make sure that you guys are looking out for the things you need to look out for. Does anybody think I'm a Debbie Downer? Type of 1 if you think I'm a Debbie Downer, like Jeff thinks. Type of 2 if you feel I'm just bringing reality to you so that you guys are not blindsided. I know Jeff was going to type a 1. I know Aksaya was going to type a 1. But I just don't want none of you guys to be blindsided. That's the reason why I say the things that I say.
I like Janice's response. I think you are a realist.
That's the only thing T says balanced. Okay, I'm okay. Jake says I still love you guys. I never want to be too much of an optimist nor too much of a pessimist. I just back up the things that I say with the things that I see. I just the bust chops. Thank you, Fitz. I try to just back it up with the things that I see. I don't want nobody out there to be like, well, nobody told me about this or nobody. I'm just preparing you, folks. Of course, Mark, you're supposed to be shopping. Stop typing. What did you just say?
One.
Have a good day, Lawrence. Lawrence doesn't like he doesn't like the conversation, and that's fine. I got you. All right, so if you want to go, you got to go. This is what makes us who we are, Lawrence. That's for sure. All right, with that being said, I don't like that, that the whole idea is that the supply is slowing down. How does oil keep falling? Well, it's the demand. Is the demand to the point that it meets up to overproduction to a certain degree of oil? I don't know. Right, so plan for the worst, expect the best. I get. Dave Ben says, given I have no positions, watching the GLB map, now thinking I can still enter today and win a little. Is it too late to enter or best wait for another cycle after the holiday? What do you think, Ryan? I got my ideas. What do you think? Do you think he should wait or do you think he's got time now?
Well, again, so I'll answer the question like this. If you have the time to watch your stocks and you're not going to be traveling a lot over the next few weeks and you can actually monitor them, I would go ahead and jump in them, or place stops on them, pretty tight stops. But with the market moving to the upside, the MTI showing us that there's still upside potential in the market, I am in the mind of enter, but put stops on them. Because the last thing you want is to buy, at the end of the rally, the market roll over and you're over here holding all these losers and keep holding them. So, no one's got the crystal ball, but as long as you've got some way to properly manage the positions, I think there's still potential to the upside in this rally. And with those two items combined, there is money to be made this holiday season.
And Jeff says, excellent point, Ryan. Now, I want everybody to answer this question. Have I ever stopped you guys from getting into the market? I've always said, I feel what I feel. I've given you my insights. But I've always said, take what the market gives you. If I said that time and time again, type a 1 if you agree, type a 2 if you think I'm just talking out the side of my neck. All right? I've said that on more than one occasion. I may not think that the market's got a ton of upside, but I've always said I'm always going to put you on the side of let the market come to you. So what that comes down to is I've given you my insights, but if the market's giving us an opportunity to buy, I've been putting you into some stocks to take a look at the buy. So I'm with you, Ryan. All the other stuff is just my insights to keep you from being blindsided. All right, next story is Orion's story. All right, it's about uranium.
All right, so yeah, I did a video a couple months ago now on uranium. Haven't talked about it much over the past, couple weeks. Energy has been pulling back, as you've seen with, coal and oil. Coal, kinda, but definitely oil itself. But this article here, global uranium shortage spurs investment frenzy. Now, yellow cake, which is the most common type of uranium, that price has surged by 173% since 2020. Now, this is mostly influenced by growing demand for, clean nuclear energy and achieving a lot of these, I guess you could say, global climate initiative goals.
That was
Sanctions.
very non-political the way you said that. I like that.
Very
Very
non-political.
non-political.
But there's a couple good things. If you're in the uranium space, sanctions on Russia, they account for about 8% of global uranium supplies, has intensified, the West to look for new sources. In addition to that, Kazakhstan, I don't know if many people know this, but Kazakhstan is the main supplier of uranium in the world. And they dominate, I don't have the figures on me right now, but I want to say about 50 to 60% of the market share. So if you are in uranium, just keeping up, with the politics of Kazakhstan, any kind of news updates on that would probably be, your best bet. As far as seeing where the market goes with uranium itself. But we're in I guess I've seen several articles call it the nuclear renaissance age. I know the smaller nuclear reactors are becoming more popular. And in addition, I know the U.S. Actually just started their first nuclear power plant. It's one of the smaller ones I'm talking about. In recent years. This is one of the first plants. Again, I don't have the figures on me right now, but I want to say close to about 15, 20 years. These plants take a long time to get the EPA approval, get all through the red tape. But that being said, I'm bullish on uranium. I've got 2 stocks in the watch list. We'll take a look at those later. But these stocks are still moving up. And as countries try to get away from what's known as the dirty fossil fuels, realistically, the cheapest way to do that and the most effective way is going to nuclear energy. So I see, as countries, especially developing countries in Asia that are heavily dependent on, coal, natural gas, things of that nature, I see them making a transition to nuclear energy, within the next decade, and that will only intensify the demand here. What's your opinion on uranium, Glenn, or do you have
It
one?
was about, remember that uranium story that we did? It was about 2 years ago, wasn't it? And I was talking about how many how many nuclear plants were getting ready to go online within the next few years. And I did a graph of how many new plants or generators. It might be a story. I got to find it. Actually, Joey's got to find it because I ain't gonna. And I might want to do an update to it because at that time, it slated out that by country, how many new uranium plants or generators they were going to put online. I think based upon what we're seeing now, that might be a good story to go back to and see what has transpired since the time of that story until right now. But it was the same thinking that it was, a cleaner source. The only downside to uranium or nuclear power plants was the disposal of the waste. That's always been a problem.
Correct.
But the energy is as clean as you would want it to be. It is by far the bestest. Whether you look at solar, whether you look at wind, nuclear energy was freaking amazing. So that's, I think, we're in. And then the other unfortunate goal or reason is that I think the nuclear powers are looking for different nuclear weapons. That's the sucky side of it. And there was a YouTube story talking about 3 new nuclear weapons that were going to be coming online in the U.S. So I was like, that was very interesting. All right, so what did Jeff say? Feng Yu, Meta. No. Oh, well, Jeff, all of those stocks for the most part are in the Magnificent Seven, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. One of them is missing, but Jeff, we've been on top of these stocks. A Magnificent Seven stock. So that's what's moving the market. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But ultimately, what's moving the market? AI. What's moving the tech stocks? AI. Between Ryan and I both, we've been on top of this whole tech stuff. All right. So, listen, if you guys don't look at other content that we put on there, man, you're missing out. That's all I got to say about it. You freaking are missing out. Dag nabbit. I can't say it any other way. I could cuss, but I ain't gonna, because my boss is listening to me right now, even though we're live. He's going to probably come running here and go, no, you can't say that. And I'll be like, yeah, he's going to give the cut sign. No. And I'll be like, there he is. He's standing right there. Say hi to VV Nation, Ray.
Hey, VV Nation.
There you go. All right, so all I'm saying, he's listening, and he's just waiting. He's like, oh, my gosh, Glenn is live. What's going to happen? Everything. That's what's going to happen. But I love uranium. I think uranium is a good play. And it's going to be in his list.
I'm just trying to find, where there's opportunities. And other than tech, I see uranium as a good play. Even the food space is a good one.
Oh, wait, hold on. And Jeff says your boss needs to give you a raise. Oh, he just did. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. All right. So John Bray says hello to you, Ray. All right, next one. We both have a take on Microsoft. So it's in both of our lists today. I'm in it, or I'm liking it, because of how many of you saw the short that I put out today, the AI drama. Microsoft, and it's as the world turns, what is it, Days of Our Lives, all of that stuff, General Hospital, that's what AI is going through right now. And OpenAI went through some stuff over the weekend. OpenAI says, you're fired, Altman. And Altman said, okay, fine. And then Microsoft says, I'm going to go pick you up. And they say, and then everybody from OpenAI said, well, fine. We're going to go over to Microsoft. And then OpenAI says, no, we want you back. And he went back. It's Peyton's place. I like that, Jake. It is Peyton's place. So I'm playing the Microsoft play. I was playing it. I'm taking benefit in what's moving up on it today. The other side of it was NVIDIA. I think that might be another one of my stories today as well. But the drama behind all of this, the AI space, Microsoft is feeling good about it. It's feeling all AI big egos. Jack, I'm not sure. I don't know. The OpenAI said they fired him because they didn't like the way he was not communicating things. Just shut up and take the money. You were making money.
Shut up.
And Microsoft was like, whatever, we're going to sit on it. It was like Microsoft, it was like The Voice. Well, everybody, OpenAI just fired Altman. And then Microsoft said, steal, we'll take them. It was like The Voice. And then it went back and forth and da-da-da-da-da. So,
hey, Glenn, did you see this most recent comment from Tom?
What's that?
U.S.-Canada border closed at Niagara Falls after vehicle explosion.
Boy. All right. Before we start to going into what we think happened, let's find out. Was that a
like a
I'm not
malfunction of the car or something
the T word. I'm not going to even say the T word. I want to get more, and Tom, I want to find out more about that. All right.
Jazz says EV vehicle explosion. Question mark.
Was it really? No, I don't think so. See, no. Stop putting out stuff. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. The board fired Sam. Sam fired the board, and so then
Sam fired the board.
The thing is, who's not on the board? Microsoft. That's who's not on the board, which is interesting. Which is very interesting. FBI is on the scene.
Don't they own a pretty good chunk of OpenAI?
Say again?
Don't they own a pretty good chunk of OpenAI?
They put an $11 billion investment into OpenAI.
Yeah.
Car race in the wrong direction on the U.S. side and crash into the booth. See, again, also explosion on the Rainbow Bridge, Detroit to Windsor. Yeah. All right, listen. I'm not getting into none of let's go find out what the news says. I will take the OpenAI job for 1/10 of the salary. Man, you got to pay me a lot. I'll be there and I'll be
Pay
me a lot. And then here's the other side of the Microsoft story. Go ahead, Ryan. This is his take on the Microsoft story.
All
Are
right.
you not looking?
No, I am looking. Am I taking the mouse?
Oh, I don't know. Did you give him the mouse?
I need control.
Hold on. Where's it at?
All right. So ultimately,
you got control.
Windows,
you got control now.
All right, I have control now. So Windows 11 is having an update that'll have a Copilot AI assistant included.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know how this works just because I've ignored the Microsoft 11 update for the past few months. Have you updated to Microsoft 11, Glenn?
No, Joey won't let me do nothing to this computer.
I can only see things getting haywire if I do.
He won't let me touch this computer.
I think this is a smart move by Microsoft. You know, if you look at platforms like Snapchat or even Apple, they have AI assistants. You know, almost like a Siri, you could say. So for Windows to be doing this in their you know, Microsoft or Windows 11 platform itself, I think it's smart for them. I think it just shows the times that, you know, more and more just general products that we use in our life are going to be integrated with AI to help out with our efficiency, you know, to make, you know, productivity, you know, increase, make life easier. So I see this being, you know, another big move for Microsoft right now. Now, if we scroll this down, so, oh, all right, I'm trying to scroll down here. It's getting stuck. All right, so this is what I want to mention here. Windows 11 now represents 24% of the desktops, while Windows 10 will be supported until October of 2025 and controls 72% of the market. So even though it's nice that Microsoft has incorporated this on Windows 11, most of the users are still on Windows 10. And I'm sure like most people out there, the big concern is if I upgrade to Windows 11, what kind of problems could arise from that? So I think, you know, until more people transfer over to Windows 11, which, you know, probably take another year or two.
Hey, Ryan, are we on 10 or 11?
We're on 10.
You are on 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on 10. I don't know which one you're on.
Oh, no, I'm on 10 too.
John says, is it true that Joey has Glenn on Windows 95?
Wow.
Joey, I could hear you laughing through the microphone. But yeah, I mean, ultimately the big point here is, you know, it's a big move by Microsoft to have this Copilot AI assistant, but until more people actually migrate to Windows 11, I don't see it, you know, having that big of an impact.
I'm on Windows 11 Enterprise.
You are on Windows 11?
Yeah, Joey's looking at it.
Oh, nice.
It's because I'm, you know, it is what it is. You know.
So where's your AI Copilot at?
Hell, I know. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that stuff. Okay, I'm on Windows 11 Enterprise. I think you are too. You have to be.
But ultimately, I see the trend of AI, some little help bot or chat bot, you know, some kind of AI assistant. Like this is being integrated more and more and more into all of our everyday technologies. So, you know, until that integration is over, I'm still on the AI, you know, bandwagon.
Amen.
I see companies making money, you know, increasing revenue through AI streams. So I think this is a good story, especially with your story. You know, they definitely, you know, I think that was a win for them.
To keep Altman?
To keep Altman,
yeah, I was
at Microsoft.
Smart. Well, Microsoft was going to get him, and a lot of people were going to leave OpenAI to go to Microsoft, and that would have been bad.
Because we've seen the success and you know, the popularity of ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, you know, he'll be able to, you know, bring good things to the table to Microsoft, which I think he will be.
Mark is saying the market is dropping fast. Is that because we're live? Could be.
It's because you didn't want to talk about X-Row today.
I'm not talking.
What is the market doing today?
I don't know.
Let's get through these stories because we still got their
All
stocks.
right, so we'll do this real quick. Nvidia's sales surge with no end in sight for AI boom, but the stock is down. We'll talk about that. Next one, Binance. That's your story.
Yeah, so Binance, their CEO just pled guilty. They're paying billions of dollars. The big thing about this with Binance, in my opinion, like Glenn talks about with FTX and how it collapsed. This is going to leave a big stain on crypto investors. As we know, crypto's had a big run, especially with Bitcoin leading the charge, all the hype behind the Bitcoin ETF. Well, a lot of these cryptos are over extended, especially when it comes to technical analysis, because that's all you can really do to trade cryptos. So I'm actually going to be short coin this week, based off of this news here, because I think this will gain negative publicity and it will have a ripple effect throughout, cryptocurrencies and platforms alike.
All right. Who was the one that said? James says, less soap opera, more VectorVest. All right. Gold, silver, copper analysis. In this story, interesting. I did a story about the two best places to be. Didn't work out so well. The two best places to be was gold and oil. Gold, silver, and copper await economic data for directional cues. Gold sustains above support. Silver breaks out, and copper sees a slight retreat. All right, so I got some gold stocks that I want to look at. I don't know if I'm fully bullish on them, but I will say that if inflation is really starting to get under control, the dollar should weaken, and that should move gold and silver higher. Here's the next story, Wells Fargo. Go ahead.
Yeah. So unions been in the news, quite a bit here. Well, they're actually going to be, looks like they're getting into the banking industry. Two workers at Wells Fargo branches launched unionization efforts on Monday. Now, that being said, this year unions have gotten a lot of publicity here. Just want to highlight this. Labor organizer unions have scored big victories lately. Amazon warehouse workers voted to unionize in New York. Hundreds of Starbucks shops have done the same. And as well, the United Auto Workers, recently negotiated generous new contracts for employers at large American car makers. So we're actually, and I don't know if you remember this, Glenn, but we did a story, I think it was last week or the week before, where Walgreens is actually looking to unionize now.
Unions are gaining some popularity right now, especially because of the UAW.
Exactly. And I mean, honestly, we're kind of in a perfect storm for unionization, as a lot of employees are feeling the stress, the financial stress of inflation. If they don't feel like they're getting paid their fair share, well, then this is what will happen.
Linda says most Starbucks employees are part-time. I don't know. I have
no idea, Linda. But yeah, I just did this story really because we're seeing unions enter a lot of new spaces this year, a lot of headlines. They're, like I said, last week with Walgreens, they're getting into healthcare. Now this week, they're getting into the banking side of things. So I only see a snowball effect coming from these unions, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see more unionization of other, large industries and other large companies throughout the market.
Very interesting. It could be a double-sided sword, though. Mm-hmm. All right, next story is going to be on lithium. I've heard people ask me, what's going on with lithium? So this story came out today. Goldman Sachs warns of further lithium price declines as iron ore surges. Whatever, flying flip. Interplay of supply and demand, with Goldman Sachs maintaining a bearish outlook on lithium, even as iron ore prices receive a boost from Chinese stimulus. Where am I looking? There it is. Analysts at Goldman Sachs believe it's too early to expect a market rebound for lithium. All right. So when I look at lithium, I look at the price of lithium going up because of the demand of EVs. But they anticipate a surplus of the metal with projections showing an excess of how many tons there. And the upcoming surplus is attributed to the increased production that is not being matched by the growth rates in electric vehicles. And then I said to myself, that's Frabernacle bull. That's what I said. That was Frabernacle bull. So I said, I wanted to know why that's Frabernacle bull. Clean energy in the driving seat for minimal demand growth. Oh, where did I find that? Well, I'm good like that. So 2040, look at where it stands as far as the demand for lithium. Look at where it stood in 2020. So we're between 2020 and 2040, of course. I can't make it any bigger, Joey. If I could, I would.
Make it any
Oh my
smaller.
gosh. No, I couldn't. But if I look over when you look at, I hate you, Joey. When you look at lithium, cobalt, nickel, copper, and rare earth elements.
Hold on, Glenn. Let me get my reading glasses.
Wow, really? Both of y'all. All right. I tried that. I couldn't do that. Oh, wow.
There we
All
go.
right.
Thanks, Joey.
Whatever.
Gotcha.
Whatever.
Now everyone here
Whatever.
at VV Nation can see what Glenn is talking
So
about.
anyway, Glenn, I have just been ordered by the boss to go to Costco for her. So I'll see you in Dallas. Have a happy Thanksgiving. You too, VP. I'll see you in Dallas, my friend.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving,
Yes.
VP.
Jeff says, wow, Joey is the bomb. Really? Really? Anyway,
Microscope's no longer needed.
Microscopes.
Anyway, so I look at the short-term move on lithium may not look so good. But when you look at the demand, stop moving it now. As you look at the demand, look at where the demand is going to be, in about 10 years or so, compared to everything else as the demand for EVs does increase. So I am still long-term with the EV space, full on board with lithium, right? But short-term, they're saying that the EV demand is not keeping up with the lithium. So that's what I wanted to. So I thought that the story was Frabernacle bull, and I just wanted to show it on. I wanted to see some kind of something to back that up. Glenn, Zoom is more than a stock. Wow, really?
Hey, yo.
Wow. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I love all you guys. And y'all, that's VV Nation coming at me. What the flying flip is that? I can't believe that. Zoom, what the Fortnite? Zoom is more than a stock. You are right. Ray's still in the room. You see what Joey does? Nope, Ray left. Ray left and didn't see anything what Joey did. So, all right. So let's get to the stocks. Let's go find it. All right, let's go. I'll start with my pick since I'm here. All right, okay. NVIDIA beat all the way around on earnings. All right, and I think that the guidance was so-so. Fundamentally sound stock. Everything good about it. I own it. I own the Granite shares, the ETF on it. I'm not leaving it right now. When the company does that well in a space that's that hot, I'm leaving the stock alone. It was down in excess of 4% today. It's come back off. I think the smart money realizes, the company, da-da-da. I'm still in it.
Hey, Glenn, before you move to the next stock, look at where the value is on NVIDIA now. It has caught up to it.
Yeah, it actually it's beating it out. A lot of these chip stocks, semiconductor stocks have been so far beaten up. But NVIDIA is just showing that that the stock is moving. People are willing to pay a premium for it now. Rather, when you look at SMCI and a lot of the other chip stocks that have been beaten down and are undervalued, very interesting story. NVIDIA is on the rise and kicking butt and taking name. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Microsoft, because of the OpenAI story, that's the only stock in my list that's up today, fundamentally sound all the way across. Because I'm looking at gold, I'm going to look, all the rest of these are commodities, gold, oil, lithium. Man, I want to look at the gold play. I really just want to look at the gold play.
What, are you bullish on gold and bearish on the other two?
I'm not fully sure that I'm bullish on gold yet. I am
You
more
gonna put a
bullish.
straddle
I
in
would
play?
be more bullish on gold than I would be on oil. So if I'm looking at gold, GLD, and this is the spiders, I got the 3 and the 8. I got trend. I right at a level of resistance. I think that if the Fed really feels that the inflation is getting under control, it's going to be for a weaker dollar, and I think that gold is going to have more room to the upside. All right, would I buy it today? No, not on a down day. But I do like what I see here from a technical standpoint, the 3 and the 8. So the question came up, about the 28 and the 7, the 50 and the 15. Those are all moving averages. All right, those are all moving averages. In this case, I'm using a tighter moving average of a 3 exponential moving average and an 8 exponential moving average, along with a 20-day simple moving average. All right, the 20-day is showing me trend. These are my entry and exit points. When I talk about a 28-7, 2 different moving averages, a little bit longer of a play, 28% and a 7%. Look at a 50-15, 50-day moving average, a 50, I back that up a little bit. 2 different things. 50-15, 28-7 are points of egress or getting out of a stock. 28-7 means if the stock goes up 28%, I get out of it. Right? Not being greedy. 7% loss means I'm limiting my loss to the downside. No more than 7% will I lose on the stock. The same scenario for the 50-15. 50% up. If the stock goes up 50%, I get out of the stock. I know where I'm getting out. Whether it's at a 50% move, what happens if it goes up 60, 70%? Oh, well, I took my 50% up. 7 on the other side to the downside because I'm giving a little bit more room. I get out at a 15% loss. The only time I'm ever going to do that is on a longer term stock that I feel more comfortable with. My moving averages that I'm talking about here, different story. Those show me good entry and exit points. The longer moving average shows me if the stock is in or out of trend. That's what I'm looking for when I'm looking at a stock, right? But the get out points, the 50-15 or the 28-7, are levels of where I'm looking to get out stock. Eugene says he's up 8% on Harmony. Nothing wrong with that. All right. And right now, I think I would more so say I'm going to be bullish on gold and bearish on. I didn't get that. Shut up. All right. And bearish on oil. There's oil, definitely bearish. The 3's below. The 3 went above the 8, but coming back down. Trend is not there. All right. Trend is not there. Look at the downward trend on oil. And then I go to another. There's lithium. Whew. Lithium's a tough play. And they're saying that the problem is with lithium is that they got so much of it. And they're not, the cars, the EVs are not keeping up with the supply, thus pushing it down. This is definitely a supply-demand story right here. Definitely a supply and demand story.
With the lithium getting cheaper, will that make the batteries cheaper?
No. I don't know. Because when it comes time to make, yes, but no. You think that they're going to lower the price of the battery just because the price is lower, or they're just going to make more money? Does that make sense, what I just said? Because I don't know if they're going to lower the cost of the battery because that's going to be floating. You're going to lower it now and then raise it back up when you got to pay more money? I don't know. I think that they're greedy enough, capitalistic enough that they will, the battery prices are going to remain the same. Right? That's what I think. And then the last story, the last stock in here is gold. There's Barrick Gold on the rise, broke through a downtrend, the 3 and the 8 and above trend. I would be a little bit more bullish on gold and a little less, be a lot more bearish on oil. All right, let me go see my picks from last week. What did they do?
Hopefully made some money.
Palantir, I would have been bullish on. Raytheon, I would have been, I don't know if I would have been bullish on retail. Actually, because I don't know, I'm going to stay bullish on all of it because I don't remember. Do you remember?
I thought you were bullish on retail.
You think I was bullish on all of it?
I
I don't remember. Because I don't remember, I don't feel like thinking. What's that thinking stuff? Right, let's do a quick test. I lost a little bit of money. The two retails went up. Palantir went down, sigh. And Raytheon went down. I was bullish. Oh, Lee said I was bullish on retail. Right. Well, they did go up.
Nice.
Really, TJ Maxx went up. Palantir makes me sad. And Raytheon, I still would be long-term okay on Raytheon. All right, let's go look at your picks for this week. Thank you both, Jake and Lee. All right, there's your picks.
All right, this week I've got CCJ and EU here. Those are my uranium plays. I've got Microsoft here, bullish on that. Coin, I am short. Wells Fargo, I am bullish. So the only one I'm short is Coin, just because of the FTX news. I think that'll leave a bad taste on investors' mouth. Now, if we just look here at the uranium play here, first coming CCJ, price $44, overvalued at 27. Most of these stocks are up today. If we look here, look at the RV and RS. CCJ, very strong rating. Even the list here, very good ratings, all except for Coin. Most of these stocks have very positive ratings here. The safety kind of suffering on some of these. It's a little bit more aggressive in nature. But one thing I really like, look at the RT relative timing. They're all in an uptrend here. All ratings above 1. Half the stocks got buy ratings, or more than half. 3 out of 5 have buy ratings. So that's really good. Even the CIs, the only one here with the bad CI is Wells Fargo at 0.51. All of the other ones have, very favorable CI ratings. And if we look at the growth rate and earnings here, very, very great. The only one of concern here is going to be Coin at -7. And that's the one I'm short on. So let's just graph these real quick. Let's just do a 3-month graph. All right, look at uranium. I did this video a couple months ago. You can see here, big plays here. CCJ, nice. Lower left, upper right. All the moving averages are in our favor. Volume is starting to drop off a little bit. So just take note of that. But everything else looks good there. We got Microsoft, nice momentum to the upside. Just hit a new high. It has been for quite some time. Buy rating. All the moving averages in our favor here. RT above 1. So it looks really good from a technical standpoint. EU, this is the other uranium play. Nice lower left, upper right. This stock was around $2 here at the beginning. Now it's at $3.72. RT been above 1 this entire time. The only thing, the 3 is converging close to that 8 here. So just keep an eye on it if you are in this position.
If you're in that position, I would consider taking half off the table. You got a little bit of a hanging man right on the high with follow through. You're in it, I would consider taking half off the table.
That's definitely smart, especially look at the run it's had. It's had a great run over the last 3 months. Don't get too greedy out there. But yeah, if you want to give it a little bit more breathing room, you've got the 20-day exponential here. It doesn't seem like it does too bad of a job. But otherwise, if you want to protect your profits a little bit quicker, look at that 3 and 8-day moving average. But Glenn is right. If you've been in this position more than a couple months now, you are up a lot, and you probably need to reevaluate your position. And protect profits. That's always the first goal.
Wow.
Next, we got Coin here.
I hate that.
Coin on a tear. Yeah. I might be regretting this next week, but but we see here just hit a high. The moving averages, they're all in our favor. I'm pretty much going against it. Not because of any technical, obviously, because those are all in our favor right now, but just with the FTX news. Just, keep an eye out for crypto in general.
With the Binance news.
With Binance, sorry. So the next one here, we got Wells Fargo. Really hasn't done much over the last 3 months. Let's just go to 6 months, see what it's been doing. There you can see the dip from its high.
I don't like banks.
You don't like banks? Well, I know you don't like banks.
I don't like banks.
But if we see here, look, it hit its low, came back down,
higher
got
low,
a higher swing low, and then look, a new higher swing high. This beat the prior swing high back here. So by definition, that looks like it's forming an uptrend here. Might be sustainable. We did get a buy rating flashed for a couple days. The moving averages are all in our favor. RT all in our favor right now. So if you're in Wells Fargo, not in a rush to sell it, but just keep an eye on it. Make sure the moving averages are in your favor. But I like this chart right now. It looks good. What do you think about Wells Fargo? I know you don't
I
like
don't
the
like the
banks.
banks.
But if it wasn't a bank, Glenn, do you like the chart?
Well, dividends are rising. RT is maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I'm watching the divergence between the 3 and the 8, and they are above a level of resistance, now serving as a level of support, testing it. I think that based on the technicals, you got to be okay with it. Am I like super warm and fuzzy with it? No. But I'm okay. And, based on your analysis, I'm okay with it. I want to see if it can get out of its own way right here. Because it's got two levels. It's got this short-term resistance. It's got this resistance. Along with all of this, once it gets past, in my opinion, 43.74, it does have room to run up to the high of 47.24. So I've got an interim level of resistance right here at 43.04, followed by 43.74. That's a 70-cent move right there. I do like everything else about it. So based on the technicals, I got to be okay with that. How about that? All right.
Let's go to the customer's picks.
Yeah, you talk too much. All right.
I talk too
Customer
much.
picks this week. I got 5. I already got 5.
For someone who's getting over being sick, I thought you would be quieter this episode.
I would.
But
LNG.
I know
These
you
are the
would.
stocks I've been watching throughout the deal today. PLTR, URG.
All right, yeah, give us your stocks.
All right, I got 5. I got the 5 that I want. I've been watching.
All right, we've got MFG.
What did you not hear? I got the 5 that I want. Did you not hear me say that? Are you not listening? Holy smokes, nobody's listening. Joey's not listening. Joey, are you listening?
What?
Exactly. All right, fine. Ryan, give me 5 more. Just call off 5 more.
We got B-Way.
B-Way.
MBC.
NBC.
AMD.
AMD.
BKKT.
Okay.
LPG.
LPG is already on my list.
Oh, NOW.
NOW. All right, so we got 10. All right, we got to 10. Joey, get your stocks in there. What stocks is Joey? Do you know what a stock is?
What?
Exactly. All right.
What?
We're gonna go eat. We're gonna go every other one. You start.
All right.
And let's do it.
You go
let's
first.
do it quick.
Right, strict. I got
Joey's got a tea time in the rain.
In the rain.
Okay, you take the first one and we'll go down from there.
that was yesterday.
All right, LPG trading at 42, undervalued, gotta like that. Updated day, even though the market's struggling a little bit. Fundamentally, RVRS, great fundamentals here. RT in a strong uptrend. RT at 1.76. Just be careful because that magnitude is very strong. So this stock is definitely rocking and rolling. But overall, VST, top in the list, 1.5. Buy rating, GRT at 28. I like this company.
All right, now that's service now. I think that's what it is. Good Lord, stock is way.
That's now what I call music.
Man, you're not old enough to remember that. Anyway, way overvalued. Way overvalued. People are willing to pay a premium to get into that. So what do they know that we don't know? Well, there's not a lot that we don't know. It's fundamentally sound. It's in an uptrend. VST number 2 in the list with a CI at 1.45. Earnings growth rate 31%. I want to take a look at this graph. We're going to take a look at all of the graphs in a second. Go ahead, do the next one.
All right, we got HMY Harmony, undervalued, trading at 560, value at 680, so that's a good sign. Down day today, so not going to buy it right this second. RVRS, fundamentally, it's okay. RS, under the threshold of 1, but it's at 0.99, so nothing too crazy. But look, it's in an uptrend right now, so this looks like it's going to be a more of a momentum play rather than something off the fundamentals. However, look at the value, safety, and timing. 1.35 has the buy rating, GRT. I mean, actually, fundamentally not too bad, but the technicals are definitely there. Even the CI at 1.25. I like this company.
There you go. Would you still want to buy? Market seems toppy, even though the color guard says safe to buy. Let's talk about that real quick. Go to the market timing graph. Market timing graph. Let's go. I don't want end of week. End of day. And let's go put on the MTI. Is the market toppy? Not yet. All right, Phil, we have an indicator called the MTI, the market timing indicator. When it gets to a value of 1.5 to 1.6, that's when the market's looking toppy. We're not in that situation yet. I know the market's moving up. Does this rally have legs? I think getting into the retail space, getting into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I don't know. I see that the market's, and you know, look at this. The market 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days really moving sideways. All right, so a sideways move doesn't tell me that the market's feeling really warm and fuzzy about moving up more. But we'll see. The 3 and the 8 on the market still are there, all that kind of thing. But we're not at the toppy level yet. We're not at the toppy level yet. So I wanted to answer that question. Jeff says that now, ServiceNow has insane corporate subscriptions and licensing. I got to look at the story on that. But I'm thinking that this is way overvalued. It means people know something driving the stock's price higher. The company is fundamentally sound. All right. I'm going to go to the next. Am I on Harmony or did you just did Harmony?
No, I did Harmony.
MBC, move your mouse. Thank you. 1340, value 21, undervalued. More of an aggressive play. It's up today, 3.83%. Up today. It's got good upside. The safety is not there. It's more of an aggressive play. 45. Wow, growing their earnings hugely. We're going to take a look at the graph real quick, but let's go to the next one. AMD. I like AMD. MBC.
I do too. Now AMD here, look at this. Price at $122, valuation just at 32.
Good gravy.
Which is crazy because a lot of these semiconductors, their values are going up, like you see with Nvidia. AMD's has gone down. AMD's value was like, I think in the 80s not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago.
Tells you something.
Yeah. However, it's up today, up 3%. Fundamentally, it is mixed. RV, very weak. However, look at the safety. They are consistent when it comes to their earnings. It's an uptrend. It does have the hold rating. You know, VST, CI, great ratings here. But look at the GRT, -2. So if you look at our forward-looking indicators, such as RV, looking at long-term price appreciation, 1 to 3 years out, and GRT, which looks at growth rate and earnings 1 to 3 years out, that's where we're seeing the weakness in the VectorVest software, is looking at a lot of this, you know, further out forecasted data. But right now it is an uptrend and it's got a hold rating. I like AMD. I think it's still got a little bit more room to the upside.
Because you crazy. So
you
so crazy. All right, BWAY up, biggest move today, almost up 13%, overvalued by 2 times. Fundamentally not sound. I'm thinking that this is news driven. I'm definitely thinking that this is news driven. It's got a positive earnings growth rate. Does have a CI above 1, and it is in an uptrend. Something tells me, based upon the fundamentals, that this is news driven. I don't know much about it. Except for if I look at the news, which I'm not going to do right now. I'd be careful with this. It is going up, but I'd be careful. Something tells me there's going to be some profit taken on this, unless whatever news is moving it is really moving it. Go ahead, next one.
Next, we got BK KT. You can see here prices at $1.58, greatly overvalued. We value 88 cents. Down day to day, down 3%. Fundamentally, just not there. You know, RVRS definitely below 1 here. But look, from a technical standpoint, relative timing at 1.37, it is moving up right now. However, this is the caveat and the warning sign, CI at 0.31. So this company does not typically recover well when it gets hit, or it's goes through a lengthy price decline. So that being said, you know, if you're in this position, protect profits, just because you can see historically it does like getting, that price action does not like to continue to grow. But however, look at its GRT, growth rate and earnings, phenomenal rating at 22%. So I do like this from, a short-term traders play, but, momentum play. But as far as fundamentals, just not quite there.
This is what happens when Joey leaves my door open when we're doing a live stream. People just walk by and just flapping their jibs. David. Okay. All right. LNG. All right. LNG, fairly valued. More of a safer play. They make money. Not good upside growth. Move your mouse again. All right. Wow. Earnings per share of $12, but negative earnings growth. And the CI is below 1. Palantir, you go.
Palantir, we're all familiar with this company
I'm
here.
going to do Palantir. You do URG. How about that?
All right. I'll do my other uranium stock.
Palantir, strictly speculative. I own it. But this is another one of those stocks where people who know about the stock know about it. All right. People are throwing money behind it. It's way overvalued. People are willing to pay a premium to own it. It's still a speculative play, but it's in an uptrend. It's an AI play, just like from what I hear now is an AI play. VST still above 1. Look at that CI. The stock is not susceptible to big price declines. When it does get hit, it goes back up, growing their earnings at a clip of 23%. I still like the play. It is a hold, but it is way overvalued. And if you don't like buying overvalued stocks, you wouldn't buy that. All right. And now you.
All right, here we got URG. This is a uranium company here, coming in at $1.64, only valued at 50 cents. A lot of these stocks in the uranium space are overvalued. I'll go ahead and say it. Down day to day. Fundamentally, just not there like RVRS. So this is a speculative play. However, look at the trend. The trend is in a bullish manner right now. It's at 1.29. So it's got some magnitude. So again, I feel like this is more of a trader's pick rather than, focusing on the company's fundamentals. However, we do have the hold rating on it right now, so it doesn't have a buy rating at the moment. So some of that momentum may be waning off. I have to take a look at the graph. However, look at the GRT. Its earnings, this company's ability to grow its earnings right now is at 27%. So that's phenomenal.
All right, so now we're going to do hot or not.
Hot or not.
Now we're going to do some hot or not. Ooh-wee. Is it hot or not? Get her done, baby. Get her done. All right, hot or not. I say hot. I wouldn't buy it today, but I still say hot. You?
I'm going to go hot.
Okay. Type it in the room. Y'all need to hurry up and type. We got to go.
All the moving averages are in our favor.
Yep.
We got the buy rating.
I just wouldn't buy it
RT's
today.
above 1.
I always, if I'm going to buy into a stock, I want to buy on an up day. Is there a YouTube tonight? Yeah. You did the video for tonight, right? It's not me.
Yeah, I did do a video tonight. It's going over 6 stocks. All 6 of these stocks have been mentioned in comments, whether on the live streams or the 6 p.m. video. So they're actually your pick. So if you're interested, stocks, I'll give you a little clue. SoFi, Neo, Palantir, IO, and Q are some of the stocks in that list. So definitely check it out tonight.
Who's doing Trending Thursday tomorrow? Tom the Turkey.
The turkey.
The turkey. That's what? Because we're not here. Not here. All right, so here's now. All right, so much news on now. AI play, hot or not?
I'm going to say not right now just because of today's candlestick.
Yep, so let's go put it on a 6-month graph. 6-month high. It's at a 1-year high. You know something?
It's at all-time high.
This could be exhausted. Think about that. It's hitting, last time it made a new high, it fell. Did it recover? Yes. New high, new high, new high, 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, it fell off. Didn't hit a new high here. Hit a new high here. Now a new high. I think it's getting exhausted. What do you think, Ryan?
I think it's exhausted. Like I said, that candlestick, that was my first warning sign. Everything looks good except that candlestick. It's got a big run to the upside. If I'm in this position, honestly, if that 3 crosses below the 8, I would probably reduce my position. And if the price action did drop below that 20-day exponential moving average, I'd probably close it out.
I'm going to give you another way to get out of it. You want to ride this momentum? Fine. Look at the prior day's low. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Look at the price. If it runs up some more, go ahead. Just keep using the prior day's low. That will get you out early. Does everybody in the room understand that? Does everybody in the room understand that? And if it keeps going up, I keep moving this up to the prior day's low. That's a great way to capture profits and not let this get away from you. This stock has gone up a lot, thinking it's getting exhausted. I bet you if I put RSI on here, which I'm not going to do, if I put RSI on here, I bet you this is overbought. But you still feel comfortable with it, I would keep using the prior day's low as a way to get out. All right. Next one, hot or not? It's a gold play. I think hot.
I'm going to go hot.
I wouldn't buy it today, but I'm gonna call this hot. Ryan?
Hot.
Okay. Good. I see the hots coming in. Next one. Hot or not? That's ugly. That's purty.
The only thing I like about it is that we did beat the prior swing high earlier in the chart.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Yeah, we took that out with today. And look at today's candlestick.
Trading
very
near-
little selling pressure. We got a nice big body on this. If that continues, I'm a buyer.
I am too. RT is rising. I am too. I'm thinking that's more hot than not. It's retail too. This could be going into Christmas. I don't know what they sell, but it sounds Christmassy. Hot or not? Move your mouse. You always got your mouse in the way.
All right, we got AMD here.
I didn't say Joey doesn't like it when I go Okay. You think it's hot? I think it's the space.
I think it's hot still.
Okay. I see the wick, but the wick is coming down to test this former level of resistance. And it's still above it. I'm going to call that hot too. Sell calls on AMD? Possibly. Or if it comes down to this level of tests it, I might take half off. All right.
I wouldn't mind selling like the 130 call, just because it gives me a lot of probability as the seller.
Get that.
And if my stock gets called away from me, at least I know it's getting called around 130. I'm not mad at it.
More money. No, you're going to pay more money for the 125. I would buy the 120. I sell the 125. No,
you get less premium.
I know.
As the seller, well, no, you'd get more premium
because it's closer. It's closer to the strike.
Closer. The 130, it will be less premium,
right? But it's got to move. Go ahead.
I would say the odds are in my favor.
Right. That's true.
If I move that strike out a little bit more,
I would take a little bit more aggressive. I would sell the 125. All right, let's go to the next one. Joey's getting mad. Oof. I don't know what happened. That's news. Oof.
I'm going to say
I am too. It broke through.
Because that's a big candle.
And we're trading right at the session highs on big volume. I'm going to call that hot. I don't know what the news is behind it, but I'm going to call that hot. John is right. Nice breakout. 3 and 8 prior to the breakout. Man, I like that. And no give back yet. I like that. I'm going to call that hot. All right, next one.
Hot.
That's a dark cloud cover. Spinning top. I'm not calling that hot.
I'm not either.
I think it's...
The only thing I do like about it is you can see that we were getting real close to a dark cloud cover, and a lot of buyers came in. Now we get that bottom wick there.
Well, you got some buyers coming in, right? I don't know. Oh, that was a former level of resistance. So the wick came down to test it as a level of support. Came back up.
I'm actually going to say hot.
I'm not.
But my stop is going to be at the bottom of today's wick.
Amen to that. I'm with that. It's going
to be a tight stop because this thing is moving quickly. But yeah, because you could see that originally it looked like we were going to get a dark cloud cover because it has to go within 50%.
Is that what it is? All right, so
it's halfway through the prior day's candlestick. But with today's buying pressure in that bottom wick, that's getting us out of that dark cloud territory. And I didn't notice it, but like you noticed it, this support here, it's trying to find that level of support off that prior high.
So you think that's a bullish sign?
I think it's bullish, but like I said, I'm putting a tight stop on it. It moves.
All right, I got you. Ooh.
I'm going to go hot.
I'm too.
And I think we're going to get a breakout that beats that high.
I'd like to see more volume, though. Dividends have popped up on it, which is going to get more people into the stock. RT is still above 1, but just meandering around. I'm good. Lee says not, and that's fine. Again, that's why we have these conversations. I'd like to see it break above that, but I do like the move coming off support, 3.8, trend, all of that. No wick at the top. I sort of like this. I'm going to call this hot. Look at the day. And John, I already talked about that, the bump up in dividend. That's just going to bring more eyes to the stock. All right, next one. Shit, Ox. Wow. Okay, then. Woo! Almost got canceled there. Almost got canceled there. I own it. You know, and by way of this layout, I think that I should sell half my position. I should.
I think this is a good stock to lock in some profits now.
I agree with you, Ryan.
And try to find some discounts in the near future.
And you know, when it moves just like that. Look at the 3.8. And look at that run. The 3.8 is still in place, but you know something? If the 3 crosses back below the 8, it's time to get out and wait for another buying opportunity. 3.8 crossed here. Even on the pullback, 3.8 held, bump till it crossed. So I'm seriously thinking about taking some of my position off. And if the 3 does cross below the 8, take it off. But man, look at that. Every time the 3 and the 8 gives you the opportunity, you make some money. This is the 3 month. To see it better, go to James. I'm on the 3 month. I'll go put on the 6 month. Man, coming off yesterday, we just came off a 6 month high.
Hey, bye, Mark. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, by the way.
See you, Mark. All right. And so I'm not hot on Palantir. I still love the stock, but right now I'm not hot on it. I'd be, you know, I am seriously thinking about, based on the 3 and the 8, to take off the table.
Yeah, Doshi says it is profit taking. I agree with that.
That's a lot of money.
I think there's some
nice money made right here. Nice money.
Once it got above 20s, you know, people who bought in when it was, you know, below $10 or in the teens, they're like, well, I got some money to protect now.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, and the last stock, here's uranium. Look at that level.
All right, we got URG. Man, it doesn't get any prettier of a graph than that. Nice lower left to upper right.
Look at that level of resistance, current support. It broke through yesterday and now below it.
Mm-hmm.
I do like.
I'm not a buyer right now. I'm going to say not.
I am going to say not right now as well, but I like the space.
I'd keep my eye on it, but not today.
You put us on the last screen, Joe. There we go.
Joe, do you got like a turkey image? We do a big turkey image going out.
You're on the screen.
You're not even having turkey, are you, Glenn?
No, my wife doesn't like turkey. Glenn, can you share some videos of your DJing side gig? You gotta find me. I got a DJ Facebook. I can't
promote it on your channel. On this channel.
Right. Somebody just said I had a pouty mouth. I didn't have a.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate the 5K.
I didn't. Ryan, have a great 5. All right. I have it. I'm not going to promote it. I won't promote it. And I'm sorry, Jeff.
Do you see what John says? Ryan, good luck on the 5K. Don't go to Golden Corral before you run. That would be a huge mistake. Or else you'll
be running it out while you're running.
Or I'll be running, literally.
You'll be running it all out. All right. With that, we got to go. Ryan, sign us off for Thanksgiving.
All right. We're out of here. Glenn, I'm glad you are feeling better. Glad you're here today. Didn't have to do this all by myself. And I hope everyone, I know people are going to be traveling, seeing friends and family. I just wish everyone, safe travels, enjoy those low gas prices, while they're still here. But again, from the VectorVest family, we just wish you, a safe and happy holiday, and we will see you next week.
See ya. Peace.